Ron, I have a question that goes along with this. There are some that say that fallen angels and demons are different entities. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I think that they're one and the same, even though I understand the position that some people hold against that view. The reason I say that is because, number one, the fallen angels and demons are described in the same way, with the same kinds of adjectives and so forth. Secondly, they seem to be parallel in view of the references to Satan, because sometimes we read about demons working in association with Satan, and at other times we read about Satan and his angels, as we see in Revelation chapter 12. And so it's a natural theological inference that fallen angels and demons are one and the same, not only because they're similar in character, but because of the references to Satan as well.
Ron, you say they are incorporeal. First, what does that mean? And that they have all the attributes of personality, mind, emotions, and will, and there are many references to angels having joy. But what does the word incorporeal mean?
Well, that means that they're lacking material form or substance. They're spirit beings. That's something that we see in Hebrews chapter 1. They're spirit beings. Now, they can take on human appearance. You know, we read about various appearances. For example, I think about Genesis 18, where we find angels appearing to Abraham. And they looked like human beings to Abraham, and they even sat down and had a meal with Abraham. But those are just temporary appearances. By nature, angels are spirit beings, and that leads me to make a very important point, Jan, and that is that by and large, angels work behind the scenes and you don't see them. You know, you might get to heaven one day, and an angel might come up to you and say, do you remember that day when you got into big trouble and a rescue seemed to come out of nowhere?
Right.
Well, that was me working behind the scenes. So I think that's something that is true, and I think that's true primarily because human beings have a tendency to worship what they don't understand. If they were to see an angel in all of its glory, you know, reflecting the glory of God, they would tend to bow down and worship it, much like John did in the book of Revelation.